21. It was about hegemony, who achieved the highest status and results. Humans in all varieties. Let's go back 200,000 years. Very close human traits were developed. They were given names like Neanderthals, Homo erectus, and eventually Homo sapiens. Let's say Homo sapiens, the current super race, has been on Earth for about 70,000 years, maybe more. First of all, that's a very short time for a species here on this planet. We consider this planet to be about 4.3 trillion years old. So we humans who are so self-righteous are actually present here for only a nanosecond of the Earth's lifespan. This on the Earth's macro level viewed backwards. We are undoubtedly in the middle of an endless stream of events. Long periods of time are without special events. They are million-year-long quiet periods, very little happens. But still, considering the big lines, the occasional significant event occurs. If we look at the second law of thermodynamics, which we more easily call entropy, where everything gradually collapses into nothingness. Fundamentally, it is precise. Everything perishes. But in this storm of entropy, viable structures grow. New life is created. New civilizations arise. They live for a while, entropy comes, and they crumble into nothingness. Then our attention should be directed to what on earth new life is created in this chaotic inferno of decomposition. Then a heretical thought comes to mind. It is the decomposition that presupposes and forms the basis for new life. But how? All elements that collapse in the brutal progress of entropy carry within themselves miniature building blocks for a new life. When new life is established, new life forms and civilizations come into play after a while. Today, in our time, we are always short on time. We do not have time, or desire to call a close family member. The short time we have on this planet, it would be natural to talk to each other. But if this is not done before the grave, it will not happen after the grave either. When someone decides to be silent, it is not because they do not have the time and opportunity. Most people find time for what they want. It is prioritized. If you do not want to talk to this or that person, it is because that person is not a priority in your life. It is experienced as hurtful and painful for the person affected. There can of course be a multitude of reasons for cutting off people, family, friends and others, but if you do it, it forms a basis for unrest in the person's mind. If there is no obvious reason for the cutting off, the action, and this intention, will be of an evil nature. If the person who carries out this action is not aware of the action, it ends up in the category of evil. We stand on the shoulders of our ancestors and mothers. They did their best so that we would have a better life than they did. They groped like we do. They wanted to find out things. They met great resistance throughout life, but they fought and finally arrived at the end of life. Then they did not know what awaited them. No one does. Now I hope they are with Jesus in heaven and are doing well. I say this as an atheist, agnostic. The most important thing is that they are doing well. If they are not alive and all the lights are turned off, that is the next best thing. Alternative solutions are scaremongering, and those people who put forward the doctrine of hell should go to hell until they come to their senses. So to the hegemony? This ridiculous hegemony that we are building around us. The king at the top, also all subjects. In the Acts of the Apostles, where reference is made to King David's heyday and the recognition he received in Israel, it becomes quite disconcerting to read the books of Samuel with an incoherent and unclear account of the creation of this kingdom. We have kings in our time as presidents and prime ministers. But all power is fundamentally narcissistic and collapses in the name of entropy. That is why it seems pathetic to follow the rise and fall of power systems. But is there anything evolutionary in power structures? We take a look down into the insect kingdom. We go from the terrace onto the lawn, lie down and look carefully down into the grassy bottom. Oh, there comes Conrad with a microscope. He maneuvers down on his stomach and starts his study. Everyone is excited, but immediately sees Conrad's twitching in the shoulder area. Soon he lifts his head and his face shines like a light bulb. Conrad is not the only one who is interested in the small components. A group from his study group at the biology faculty lies down on their stomachs. Conrad kindly gives the microscope to the man next to him and the shrugs spread. This is sensational. A completely new microbe is discovered in the leg of the ordinary ant species we have here in Norway. They were unable to get close-up pictures of the microbe. But it was taken care of and safely and securely transported to the Faculty of Biology for further examination. The next day opened with bright sunshine. Calm winds and a fairly warm summer temperature of about 22 degrees Celsius. Conrad was strolling with his green bicycle by his side. He strolled down Telfusbakken in the middle of Oslo Sen.